Hello and welcome back to How Would You Handle That? Coaching conversations between myself, Teresa Norton of StarMaker, and my dear friend and esteemed colleague, Ricky Nowak of Ricky Nowak Coaching. So during the series of short conversations, we're going to share examples of the sorts of challenges that we've had with our clients, and then we're going to ask each other, how would you handle that? So, Ricky, I've got one from you today, I think.
Absolutely, Teresa. I want to ask you, what would you do if a team leader of what is now leading a virtual team of 50, and most teams are virtual, has had to shift from being in-house to everyone's house as they're leading? This particular team leader is recognising he's unable to keep the team motivated and accountable. People generally are struggling. They've got homeschooling. They've got people at home, new clouded workplaces, and it's really hard to work remotely. They're constantly saying to him that they're under too much pressure, and he's thinking, hey, I'm under too much pressure, and everyone is blaming everybody else. He's blaming him for being lazy, and they're seeing him as not being empathic. How would you handle that?
How would I handle that? Well, you know, I come from a theater background, so I look at leaders as having a lot that they can learn from theater directors. One thing to keep in mind is that as a leader, you are in the spotlight and center stage 24/7, whether you like it or not. And nowadays, you know, with Zoom, you're like on the big screen. It's like a movie of you. And everyone's watching your face. I mean, think back to earlier in your own career. It's like, good day, bad day. Good day, bad day. Do I bring it up? Do I not bring it up? And this sense of the importance of the expression on your face, it has a huge impact, and a lot of people don't pay any attention to that. So I suggest that, that there be a bit of preparation, and in some cases the same sort of preparation that an actor would use before going on stage. Before you go into that meeting, I would say to that leader, pause, take a moment, and think, what kind of energy do you want to bring in there? What's the role you're playing? And how do you want people to feel as a result of seeing you in that meeting? So I call that mind your mask. You know, pay attention to what's happening up here, because that's the first place people get messages. Also, I think about, this team feeling like they're not, they're not getting, it sounds to me like they feel like they're not getting cared for, like they aren't getting enough attention. And that's why they're feeling unmotivated and maybe not feeling like they're accountable. So, directors give notes after rehearsal, and sometimes the notes go to everybody. You can talk about rehearsal as a meeting, and sometimes they're one-to-one notes. And we're big fans at StarMaker of having those crucial one-to-one conversations, and they're even more important now that people are working remotely. And we suggest that you schedule, and don't fall over in a dead faint, a 5 to 10 minute meeting at least once every month with every single person who reports to you. 5 minutes. Don't tell me you don't have time for that. You have time for that. 5 minutes, and the focus is on them. The focus is not on the project, it's on the person. Show that you're curious, that you're interested in them. Yeah, I mean, one thing that wonderful theater director William Ball said, praise that which is praiseworthy and praise it generously. And if you can't think of what to praise, imagine that person didn't show up for work. Then what happens? What doesn't get done? So in having these conversations, we use something that we created called the Book of Stars. It's a simple template. You set some short-term goals that are purposeful for the person you're talking to. You ask that team member during that short one-to-one conversation, where are they struggling? What is frustrating them? And you take notes. And then you ask how you can be of support. And that's not doing for them, that's facilitating their success. That sounds to me like a recipe for more success and more comfort for him, because he'll feel less likely to blame his team, because he'll understand them and know them and be participating in their success.
Fantastic. So there are 5 things that are jumping out at me right now. And the first one is that I think is a great message and takeaway is the energy that you talk about, which is palpable, even in the way that you're conveying these ideas to us right now, and how responsible we have to be for our own energy. And that comes in everything about how we stand, how we sit, how we speak, our languaging, our pace, our pitch, our tone. And I love that about what you've just done. And And it seems if that comes into the discussion, we've already a step ahead. And the thing from that means is that when we're writing some of those director's notes or producer's notes or actor's notes or designer's notes, we've actually got something to work with that's been based on the fact that there's good energy with good intent behind it. And the intent is more than just the writing. The intent comes further down the track to be anchored with those 10-minute meetings that you're talking about. And sure, they don't all have to be done in 1 minute or on the one day. In fact, it would almost sound like it would be contrived. So I love, the fact that we can spread it out, and as we're watching people and we can give them praiseworthy feedback or feed forward or commentary just about what we're observing is so worthy of the Book of Stars. So I thank you for that, and that's just given me a whole heap of new ideas to think about and augment my style, because the whole purpose of what we're doing, isn't it, Teresa, is about sharing our experiences with each other and with other leaders who are on the call, and in a way that we can learn and hopefully you can learn as well. Our approaches are so different, but how complementary it is to be able to cherry pick and think, I like that piece of that. That might work for me, because you handle things in a different situation. We've had great success with the work that we're doing with our clients, but we've honed these skills over a long time. So we're encouraging you to find how you can hone and resolve the challenges in your workplace in whatever way feels authentic to you and effective for you. By all means, join in the conversation with us. Let us know what you're doing. It's really great when we get an understanding of what's working and how you can cherry pick out the best. We serve by sharing, we learn by listening, and we really want to listen to you. Thank you, and see you next time.